Hello, this episode we are trying to label using LabelMe, a free tool for labeling our AI dataset. Yeah, we are trying to set up Anaconda Navigator, which is an IDE for accessing LabelMe. The labeler here is trying to, which is me, is trying to access the dataset, look at the dataset, the men looking handsome, the ladies looking pretty. The next stage is to click Anaconda Navigator, and there's a software here called LabelMe. You load in your data set, clicking on Open Directory, checking the folder where the images are, clicking on selecting the folder, then it loads all your data set on the interface of LabelMe. You select the polygon, but for this one we are going to be using segmentation, not the rectangular or any of those polygons you can see there. And why are we using this? Because it's going to draw more than a point. If it's a rectangle, it means it's just 4 points. And from the level we have gotten to using this data set or labeling it, you can see that we've actually labeled with more than 4 data points. So keep labeling. Make sure you are selecting all edges. If you know you won't be labeling the inner part, avoid it. Just make sure the external features of that picture or that object is properly selected. Look at what we're doing here. We are taking our time to make sure everything is properly done, because if you label the internal part, it will recognize the internal part, and I believe that is not what you want to do. Finally, you click on the last edge point where you started from to successfully save it, and you can see we labeled it as the man. The same thing we are doing for this beautiful lady here, looking so much like me, the Afrocentric girl. We do the same thing. We label true. We make sure that every edge is being catered for. We select it. If you know that you've not properly done, you can do Ctrl Z to go back on your edge. You can see what we did to the nails. It's very important to take cognizance of those edges. They are very important to our AI model recognition, because if you don't, it won't recognize that as a part, being part of our body, obviously. So you have to properly label, and labeling is very important in any AI process. In fact, I will call it like the most important. You can build the models, fine and good, but if your data set is not properly labeled, it's as bad as anything. Look at what is happening here. The person labeling this, which is me, I changed the name from a man to a woman because this is a woman. You understand? So labeling is as important as anything you can ever think of. It's very essential, it's very important, and it must be properly done. It's not just done haphazardly. You have to take your time. Yes, I know that sometimes we might be in a rush to build our AI. Everybody just sees the AI model, forgetting that there are underlying technologies happening in there. And for this tool, the interesting thing about this tool called LabelMe is a free tool. We have some paid tools which I'll also be sharing. I have a video coming up talking about different types of labeling tool that you can use. And LabelMe is a very good tool, especially for computer vision projects, maybe for segmentation, for object detection, for any kind of recognition you can ever think of, especially when it has to do with pictorial data sets. Yes, so same thing. You can see this is a woman. You select the woman and make sure this is properly labeled. And the interesting thing about this is once you label, your labeled information is being saved in that same folder where you have the real images, the PNG or the JPEG, and you can recognize that using which format. The format is being saved as is JSON, JSON format. So you can make do with that, either with your AI models, the PyTorch AI models developed, the one from TensorFlow, the Tektron, YOLO, different versions of YOLO. You know, we have a lot of versions of YOLO. And we look to my bottom right, you will see label list. That means we have like 2 label names here, which is man and woman. We can have 100, we can have 20, we can have anything. But for this one, we're just recognizing just 2 data classes, which is the man and the woman. And if you look upward, you can see some files having like username something. You can see the blue tick. This blue tick indicates that yes, that particular image has been properly labeled and be saved. The ones that are not checked are the ones that you are still going to label, or you have to label. Back to what I was saying, the importance of labeling is that it helps you, or wrong labeling, let me put it, because let's start with the bad side. If you don't properly label your data, it's going to cause your information being skewed, wrongly interpreted. You won't see the right thing. Imagine if you label this beautiful lady here as a man. That's confusion. Yes, I know some men look like her, but we are trying to distinguish. That's the advantage of labeling, to distinguish between a particular data set, which could be A from B. In our own case, we are trying to differentiate between a man and a woman, So imagine if you wrongly label it, there's going to be a problem. Or you labeled a tree as a man. Oh my God, that is going to be disastrous. We need to check your eyeglass or something of such, right? So please make sure your labeling process is properly done, because it's very, very rudimentary to your AI model development. Every AI engineer knows this. In fact, we take a long time processing the images, validating it, checking it out, making sure it's working properly, making sure it's the right thing, making sure the right labels are what we are using. Now imagine, it's as simple as it looks simple, but it's the most important. So I'll leave you to just enjoy me labeling now. So it's kind of sink it in. Maybe if you're also labeling on the side, you can also label alongside with me and see what we are doing right here. Please share this my video with people. Subscribe to my channel. I'm coming up with a lot of wonderful videos about AI. My channel is all about AI, technology, which AI is in there, technology, lifestyle, work-life balance is key, travels, which is under lifestyle, education, which you have here, educating you on how to use LabelMe. I also have a video on supervisory. That's another labeling tool that I used earlier on. Yeah, so you can also, if you have like if you want to label using supervisory, you can also learn that as well. You can see that. So all those things are things that I have here. You're going to learn a whole lot. And faith. Yes, my channel is also about faith, making sure that you are a king and a priest in the marketplace. Yes, so I bring this to a close. This has been wonderfully labeled. This guy is looking very nice, and the labeling is also going well. Yes, it might look like we are taking a whole lot of time getting the data points, but I must bet you the AI engineer that will be working on this will thank me a whole lot. Thank you, and so I see you next time. Bye.